Jack Haslam, one of 3 City of Sheffield divers to make the final, his brother coming later. And guess what? Yeah, it's an inward 2.5 again.
Yeah, very consistent opening dive for people. Another great inward 2.5. Slightly, very slightly sat back, but still a really good entry from Jack there. That's beautiful.
Yeah, another 70 plus. I liked it as much as a couple of the judges did, 8.5s. They will get discounted because they're top for Ross Haslam. Ross has got quite a meaty program in the middle and at the end, but has a couple of 3.0s along the way, so has to make all these count.
Very nice, very nice. Not quite as good an entry as Ross would maybe hope. Still very, very good, don't get me wrong. But not quite as good as his brother's one. A beautiful pike shape there, an amazing top as well. He's fantastic diver with a lot of talent.
Not going to go over 70 with this, but 67.5, so around about 7.5s across the board. We'll get up to 3.8 later, but only 2 divers are doing that. 3.5 back-to-back for Jack. So if he's going to go on and win it, these are the ones that really count. Reverse, 1.5 somersaults, 3.5 twists.
See, when he came down from his hurdle step there, he was just very slightly mistimed on the board, and when that happens, it can throw your body off a little bit, which is probably why he's picked up a little bit too fast there, and he's slightly over-rotated, but that's, you know, still a good score. 3.5 degree of difficulty. If you get those...
Yeah, that's where he is. Just wait for the board to reconfigure. Ross Haslam has got a forward 3.5 next, before he starts getting into his 3.5s. Forward 3.5, same dive that James Heatley has done previous, he'll be doing now.
Oh, that's very nice from Ross again. Like I said earlier, Ross is just so like perfect in his lines, his angles. His arms are always straight. A little bit flat on the pike shape maybe, and slightly washed over as well, but you know, that's a really good dive as well.
So at the end of second round, top 2, Oliver Dingley, Yona Knight Wisdom, Freddie Woodward in third. Look at that, separated by 3.
It's hard to judge correctly, you know, where do you sit with that? Do you take into fact the small splash or the over rotation? And that's hard.
So big dive again, 3.5, reverse 3.5 for Jack.
Oh!
Hello, hello.
Wow. Yeah,
welcome to the party.
That's it. That's the dive right there for Jack. Look at that. Look at that end. A bit pulled on the start, but what a dive. 89 points.
That was phenomenal. Really was. Now what can you do, Ross Haslam?
Same degree of difficulty.
Yeah, it is 3.5, reverse 1.5 somersaults, 3.5 twists. Now, that's a lot. I'm telling you, Amanda knows exactly what it means, but I'm just telling the viewers, 3.5 twists off the 3 metre board.
Oh yeah, it's a lot to fit in. Oh, hello. Very nice, very nice. A little bit forwards, and that's why he struggled slightly to get that end as good as his brother was earlier. It's still a very nice dive, a beautiful twister as well. He's just immaculate in the air.
So he's getting closer now. Jack Haslam. How do you back up a dive like round 3? Well, it's nowhere near as complicated, nowhere near as tough, but that doesn't mean there's any less pressure on this back 2.5 somersaults. Again, same dive Anthony Harding has just done. What kind of mark can Jack Haslam, our current leader, get?
Oh, he's done fantastic there. That could have gone one or two ways because of such a complex dive to then follow up with an easy one. His nerves could have been all over the place. He could have been adrenaline rushed, and he's done fantastic to do such a good job on that, keeping it nice and safe. 72 points. Look at that.
It's the 300 mark. Right, here comes baby brother. Jack's shown the way. Let's see what 20-year-old Ross Haslam of City of Sheffield can do. Back 2.5 somersaults for round 4.
Now, like I said earlier, Ross is just look at that pipe shape. He's got to really work hard to get into that, and it looks fantastic. He's got almost no gap between his chest and his legs, which is very hard to do when he's spinning around. He's slightly carried his body weight over, and unfortunately kicked up a little bit of splash.
Haslam, then Ollie Dingley, then Dan Gaffilla moving up into third. Freddie's 3 behind him, and then Yona is 5 behind him. Ross Haslam is right. We've seen him do the best dive we've seen over the first day and a half in any competition. The reverse 3.5. Well, this is the forward 3.5.
Yeah, that's a brilliant entry. You can see that there's absolutely no splash there. Look at that. But he's in a pipe shape as he goes in the water, and the judges will notice that. He had quite an open pipe shape as he was spinning around as well. And the fact that he landed in such a closed pipe shape position instead of being straight.
Now Ross Haslam, Jack's younger brother. Reverse 2.5 for him, finishing with a forward 2.5 with 2 twists, but it was a 3.0, so again, you see high tariff dives, this has to be nailed.
Look at that. It's lovely. And he pushes out of that pipe shape into the straight shape there. Absolutely beautiful. His legs are carried over literally 1 or 2 degrees. And it is very forward as well, but you know, you can see on his face he's not too happy with it. And it's pretty brutal.
And that's where we are. Ollie Dingley, 8-point lead over Jack. He's got 18-point advantage over Yona. So looks like top 2 now, doesn't it? Looks like Ollie against Jack. Jack Haslam has a forward 2.5, 2 twists, or forward 2.5 with 1 twist from Tony Harding. Well, Jack adds another twist. Now, is the twist that he's going to overtake our leader Oliver Dingley? We'll know in a few seconds.
It's a good dive from Jack there. A little bit forward and a little bit late on the flick as well than what I'd expect. But a really good dive from Jack. He's really, really proud of that performance. It's a big PB for him, I think. And really good to see him potentially back on top of the podium.
4:38 is now the new mark. So when he could have nailed them, he would have been right in the frame there, because he's crept up to only 7 points behind Yona in the end.
Yeah, he has a slightly smaller degree of difficulty than the other boys, but something to work on in the future without a doubt.
So same dive we just saw from James, we'll see with Ross Haslam to complete his 6.
Oh, what a
even better.
Fantastic top. Unfortunately slightly washed on the end. You can see that slightly over-rotates. Same score, but the top, in terms of how good that was off the board, was just unbelievable. That's world class.
So the 1, 2, 3 is Oliver Dingley, Jack Haslam and Ross Haslam. The brackets indicate overseas diver. So we're looking from a British point of view. The Haslam boys 1 and 2, and James Heatley in 3rd.